Welcome back. Are you ready to do some more PeopleSoft development? Well, if you noticed, last time I bit off a little more than I could chew and recorded a little bit too long, so this is the second half to the last session. So come join me as we do a little bit more on our trace tool, and in the meantime, between the recording and now, I also got a link for my SpearMC training class that I'm going to teach. So I'll post that down in the description if you're interested in doing that. Otherwise, please join me as we do a little bit more work on the trace tool. If we can put a cool little button on there, and I may speed this up, but I'm going to flip over to a tool. I'm an open source junkie, so I'm going to use Inkscape, and so I'm just going to make this a square button. I was trying to think of what to do. I would do like greater than less than brackets, but that's HTML. So text. How about we do an ampersand for PeopleCode? And then let's do another one that is a semicolon. So there's my PeopleCode button. So now I want to do one more set here. So let's duplicate this. This one will export this as the SQL trace on, and I have all my icons there. Okay, so if I go back to App Designer, now I can import all of these. So File, New, and I want an image. And it asks me where my image is. So let's drill all the way down into here. Now I gotta remember where it was. And I have to have the correct file selected here. And so I want the PeopleCode trace off. So there's my image. So we save our image, SKP, okay, so something like that. Okay, drop that into my project, and then I should be able to come back over here, and on the label I can say I want it to be an image. Helps if you type it correctly. And there's my trace off button. So if I save it and we come back down here to the terminal, and let's refresh it, and there it is. So now my only challenge is getting it styled correctly so that it looks good. So I'll have to style it up a little bit bigger. But then I can do, so let me jump back over to App Designer. Let's get the rest of our images in here.
So new image. Move around where I store this stuff.
And it sure would be nice if it would remember it, because this makes it a little bit tedious.
Okay, so we'll try to save it somewhat similar. Trace on push button. Okay. You know what? I am getting tired of messing with it, so I'm starting to go take a couple of shortcuts. So new image here. Sure would be nice if we could just drag and drop the files in. But, okay. Hopefully this is the last one here. Make sure it's PNG. This is the on one. Alright, so I just need to save these two.
Oh no, those two look, I'm gonna have to fix that later.
I forgot to select the right image. So we'll have to fix that later. No. Goodness. It's hard to stay focused, especially when you're recording. So this is the on one. Okay? There we go. So
F7 on this one, F7 on this one. I've got all 4 images in. And then this one I want to do the same thing. So label, change it to an image. You know what? I want large image is the size I really want it. I forgot to do that on the other one. So SKP SQL trace off. Okay. And let's go ahead and change this one to large image size. Alright, so let's check it out in the PIA. Refresh here. There's my 2 images. I would really like them to be a bit larger, but we will work with that later. Okay, so the next step is to make it work, and I think we can do that real quick, and I'll probably end right there, and then we can pick up with tweaking the tool and adding features after that. So let me come back over to the App Designer. One of the tools that I like, I believe I picked up from Jim Marion. I also got, let's see the changes to the page. I also got that thing with naming the group boxes from him as well. But I like to create an app package that's sort of like a driver for the whole component. So let's do application package here. And I'm just gonna say, well, let me save it, or do I have to insert a class? I forget now. I'm gonna give it the same name as my component. And then, you know, I could just do digital legal tools, but I don't know, we'll run with it like this. So let's put in a UI class name. Probably not the best naming, but let's just get something working here. Okay, so I've got my new class. So let's just do class, whatever, end class. If I save it, it should update it for me. And then let's do, why don't we do a pre-build method. So this is the code that gets triggered on pre-build. And so the cool thing about it is I can just update this code in here without having to refresh my component, and it typically works. So, and then while I'm at it, why don't I just finish out here? Let's do PeopleCode trace toggle and SQL trace toggle. So those are the two things that I need to get working. And let's just, instead of doing the trace right now, let's just say hello world. Take things one step at a time, make sure they work. Okay, so that's my code there. All right, what's my invalid character here? Did I forget a extra slash? Okay, so there's my code. So F7, and then sometimes it's best just to do, I did Control F7, and we'll just put the whole this probably is unnecessary because I don't have any children packages, but it's all in there. Oh, not new. File, save project. There we go. Okay, so that's the code there, but I gotta wire it up and make it work. So if we go into the component and say view the people code, it's starting to be slow. Murphy's Law while you're watching. Oh, that's not too bad. Okay, so pre-build, let's see here. So here's where we create our variable component. Wait, first we need to import it. So import skp trace tool UI. So that's the name of my class. Then I need a UI variable, UI type variable with a name of UI. You know what? I'm gonna say global UI. That way it's obvious it's global. And then we need to set this, instantiate it equals to the component, create UI like that. Okay, if I save it, it should kind of fill out the stuff that I cheated on. And then the last thing, gbl UI.prebuild. So let's put this prebuild in there. There we go. And don't forget the F7. And that makes it work. Okay, so that's wired up. Now the only thing is I don't want installation. I need to make those two buttons work. So actually before, let's copy this. That'll make it easier. I'm gonna have to be done here real quick because I'm getting an important phone call. So not PT work. Where's my SKP? This is the part that I hate because it just takes so long to try to get this working. Here it is, SQL trace work. Say view people code here. I don't want field default. It really should go to field change. Okay. So this is the people code trace one. So we say global UI dot people code trace toggle. Okay. And then I'm gonna do this one right here. Field change. Did just so that's saved. I'm hitting F7 now, but I forgot to do it on this other one. So let's come back here. People code trace F7. Save the project. Okay. And so let's flip back over to the PIA and refresh the page. It doesn't look different, but now if I hit the button, I get my hello world. Okay. So, I think, especially since I got that call and my time's running out, I'm going to end here. I I have the page design done. There's a couple more things I want to do with it to improve the look. But for now, we'll just end right here, especially since my time's running out. And I want to keep these going. If I don't just publish stuff, errors and all, then I'll never get anything out there. So please bear with all my issues. But hopefully you learned something. If you see anything I missed, please comment, subscribe to stay up to date. If you've got any projects that you would like help with, please reach out. I would love to consult for you. Otherwise, I hope you learned something. Please comment if there's something that I need to learn, and maybe next time we'll wire this up so that when you push those buttons, they'll actually turn the trace on and off. And then also, I'd like to make those buttons bigger. So hopefully that gives you an idea of where we're headed. Hopefully you've learned something. Thanks for joining me as I worked, and I will catch you on the next episode.